Okay, this is the agenda for today. I'm first going to introduce myself and explain my history a little bit as it relates to food. And then we'll review the scientific evidence for plant-based eating, some terminology. And there are also a lot of frequently asked questions about plant-based eating. What about this? What about that? Particularly about protein, soy, carbs, oil, calcium, and cost. But we're going to answer those questions. And then we'll have a book signing. Okay. So who is Lois Lynn?
Who is Lois Lynn? Tell us.
At 16, I had this is my ideal image of myself. This picture, a sweet 16, and I think I had a belly like that because I was on the track team. Okay? You don't just get one like that, you have to work for it. And I think that's how I got it. I still have those shorts. One day, I am going to fit into those shorts. That is a goal, okay? 20 years later, at 26, I became a registered dietitian. That's my stepfather there. He wanted to get in the picture. He was so happy. And then my first position as a registered dietitian was as a high-risk WIC nutritionist at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center on 168th Street. And this Sweet 16 picture is very significant because if somebody is ever going to do a change of any kind, they need to know where they're going, what are they working towards, and that is my ideal image that I always go back to, that I want to get to. And you'll hear more about why that's really important to have an image of what's your future you want to live into. You might have lost it, you want to kind of get back there somehow. When I was studying nutrition at Queens College, I read about this community group, a religious group actually, the Seventh-day Adventists. They are in they have a place in California called Loma Linda, and there is where a lot of research is done. They have research for North America and South America, and as a group, the Seventh-day Adventists ask their congregation to not drink, not smoke, no caffeine, and they encourage a vegetarian diet. And within that spectrum, you can see most don't smoke, most don't drink, many avoid caffeine, and for the vegetarian diet, there's the spectrum. Some are complete vegans, they only eat plants, some eat maybe some fish, some eat some dairy, eggs, and some eat everything. It's the full spectrum. And because there's such a large community and there's this coming together, and that they're a very good group to study. And when I was a student, their research inspired me to become a lacto-ovo vegetarian for 6.5 years. And I was afraid to be a vegan because, oh, no meat, like that's so extreme, I don't know. And then I did it for 6 months, and I was actually going from Lexington to 3rd Avenue, 1 block. I actually was going to my nutrition internship, which was at the Ford Foundation, American Health Foundation. And I got this case of tachycardia, which means my heart beat out of control, and it took a really long time to come back. And I was very confused by that, and there's nobody to ask because this was many moons ago. So I stopped completely, and then...
You stopped what?
I stopped eating all plants or lacto-ovo. I stopped being a vegetarian. I went to the healthy standard American diet, which everybody eats, right? Okay, and in school, they taught you have dairy 3 times a day, every meal, because you need it to build your bones and your teeth. You don't want them to fall out. And I was like, I am determined this is not going to happen to me. So I was very diligent about it. And, typical. And why is it called a standard American diet? Well, if you think about those 3 letters, it says SAD. S-A-D. The standard American diet is actually a very sad diet. And we'll go into that a little bit more. But you can relate to that, right? Okay. When I hit 50, menopause set in, and I was falling apart. I had never experienced anything like that. Before that, I was always either a size 8 or a size 10. All of a sudden, I was a 12, and then it's 14. And when I got to 14, I said, I am not buying a size 16 clothes. That's enough. And I kind of figured this out. Like, that's it. And so I would try to squeeze into clothes that were 2 sizes too small. And practically, if you know what that's like, it's not easy. It's very tight, and I could practically break a finger doing it. So I gained weight. I gained 40 pounds every year. It was another 7 pounds, little by little. I developed acid reflux, which I never had in my entire life. I developed weak knees because the weight is so heavy that the knees start to hurt. And then you know about the clothes. And unbeknownst to me, my physical fitness was going. I love to hike. And the Palisades of New Jersey, right over the bridge, is a hike. And it's a gorgeous hike. I absolutely love this hike because you use absolutely every muscle in your body to climb up and over very large boulders. So when you're done, you have a workout. I did it twice during the day. And then one time I went back to my old job or actually it was towards the end of my old job. And youngsters were going for a night hike to the Palisades of New Jersey. And I said, I want to go. So I went. 7 o'clock at night, we meet, we go, we drive there, we get there, and then we take a picture. There's this castle where we took a picture, and then we started hiking. And there's, the Hudson is there. And of course, I slip. And I get my foot in the water, my whole boot is wet, I'm wet, but I still go. Then night is starting to fall. I have never been out like this at night. It is so dark, you cannot see a thing. There are no lights. It is not a street light to be seen. You are in nature. It is so dark. And I don't have anything to see. And everybody has this headlight. I have no idea. So one very nice young gentleman had an extra and let me borrow it. Not only did he let me borrow it, but he also helped me up and over the large boulders to the end of the hike. Most people finish the hike at 10 p.m. We finished the hike at 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
Okay, so, and all that time I was like, please have a helicopter come and rescue me. I cannot finish this. And as I'm going through, I'm looking at these crevices and I'm like, are there snakes in there? It's like everything goes through your mind. I was just going nuts. Okay, so I survived that. Welcome, and I finally, so this is menopause. And my uncle at the time was in his 90s. And I looked at him and I said, how did you get to be 90? I can't even get past 50. So, menopause. Here's a summary. My 49th birthday, you can see it's the same shirt. I was so lucky to find 2 shirts of the same kind and I was wearing. You can see I'm 49 and there's nothing extra there, right? Like you can see, right? I'm not filling out the shirt too much. Then never take a picture of somebody when they're eating, okay? Like, those are the worst pictures. Well, that's the one I got, so you're getting that one. And I cut my hair, and so that's 56 and 40 pounds heavier. And then I started a weight loss program, and they said, take a pre and a post. I took the pre, and it was a weigh everything you eat kind of program, weigh and measure. And I did, and I went from a size whatever to a size 6, which I've never been in my entire life, ever. I'm usually an 8 or a 10, which is kind of what I am now. So there's kind of a story there. And I was sort of plant-based sometimes when I was doing the weighing and measuring.